All right, welcome back. Okay, so technically we still have 10 games on tonight. So it's possible we end up with 9. But right now we have 10, including 6 that start at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. So this is one of those busy nights. Every Thursday, every Monday, every Saturday, it's crazy busy. And if they do decide to push back the Boston Buffalo, then that would probably mean more crazy days in the future. And they were supposed to play each other before this, but we had the delays and the postponements, and now it's possible we have it again. But it's also possible that because they've already been delaying games, that they're not wanting to delay another one. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so first up, Pittsburgh in against New Jersey. The Penguins 18-10-1, looking pretty darn good. This is their first meeting with New Jersey. New Jersey 9-13-4, coming off of a win over Buffalo. So we'll see how they do against Pittsburgh. Kasperi Kapanen, excellent run for Kapanen right now. 7 goals, 13 assists. He and Malkin have turned out to be pretty decent duo for them. Crosby, again, kind of under the radar if that's possible for Crosby. 11 goals, 18 assists, 29 points. He's having a very good year. On the New Jersey side, Kyle Palmieri. Who knows if he finishes the season as a member of the Sabres. For right now, he's a member of the Sabres. 4 goals and 8 assists for him this season. Wood, 9 goals, 4 assists for Miles Wood. And really, honestly, he's been fantastic for New Jersey this year. He's been everything they could ask for. So, one of their hardest working forwards. So we'll see whether or not that hard work translates into an upset victory over Pittsburgh. And also at 7 Eastern, as said, it's planned anyways, that the Boston Bruins will play against the Buffalo Sabres. Boston 15-8-4. Buffalo 6-18-4. This is their first meeting. As I said, their previous meetings were delayed. So we'll see how it goes. Bergeron, 10 goals, 15 assists for 25 points. Solid season for Bergeron thus far. And Pastrnak, 13 goals, 11 assists, 24 points. He didn't start the season as ridiculously as he did last year, but he's still on pace for, if we had a full 80 games, and he played a full 80 games, around 50 goals. So that's not bad. Victor Olofsson on the Buffalo side, 8 goals, 11 assists, one of the higher scoring forwards they have. Of course, most of that's on the power play, but points are points right now. And Eric Stahl, who knows how long he's going to be a member of the Sabres, 3 goals and 7 assists. He's willing to go. He's willing to go to another team at this stage, and we'll see whether or not that happens at the deadline. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we got the Philadelphia Flyers in against the New York Islanders. The Flyers now 14-10-3, so again, last night's loss only counts for 1. You know what I thought was funny too? There's a one website that I use, and they said that Brett Howden last night had an assist for the New York Rangers in their 9-0 loss against the Flyers, and I thought, you guys put loss where you were supposed to put win. And it just reads really funny that way, that he got an assist in a game where they got shut out. And I know the Rangers won that game 9-0. I thought the way they wrote that, I thought that's interesting. Somebody reading that in isolation would think, did he though? Did he really? So yeah, for the Flyers, 14-10-3. For the Islanders, 19-7-4, coming off of that loss against Washington. But Philadelphia's won both meetings between these teams this year, so we'll see how it goes. Giroux, 6 goals, 15 assists, same total he had going into the last game. And Hayes, 9 goals, 11 assists, same total he had going into the last game. Doesn't change when you get shut out. Eberle, 9 goals and 10 assists for the New York Islanders, still adjusting to life without Anders Lee. And Jean-Gabriel Pageau didn't stay out for as long as expected, 9 goals, 8 assists for him so far, and he was back in the last game, so that's good news for the Islanders. And yeah, we'll see how they do against the Flyers tonight. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, we'll see Columbus in against Carolina. If Columbus is going to make up ground on Chicago, while Chicago has his more difficult schedule, this is the time. They're 11-12-7. Carolina's 20-7-1. Carolina's won 2 out of 3 meetings with Columbus this year. For Columbus, it's been interesting. Atkinson, solid, 11 goals, 10 assists, 21 points. Very reliable forward. Again, if we were looking at an 82-game season, he'd be scoring at around a 35-goal pace. Domi, 5 goals, 6 assists. Again, Max Domi, it feels like, is starting to hit his stride. He could be a streaky scorer. We'll see if that leads to another point tonight. Svechnikov, 8 goals, 14 assists. Part of a very positive story in Carolina, as is Martin Necas. 5 goals, 15 assists for Necas, 20 points. The depth in Carolina is very good for their forwards. Their top 6 is one of the best top 6s in the league. 7 o'clock Eastern as well, 4 Pacific. We've got Chicago in against Tampa. Chicago's 14-11-5. Tampa's 26-2. Tampa's won 4 out of 5 meetings. This will be the most fun game to watch of the night. No idea who's going to win. No idea what the final score is going to be. But my bet is this will be the most fun game to watch of the night. Kurashev, 7 goals, 4 assists for Chicago. Kubalik, who's been red hot lately, 10 goals, 13 assists for 23 points. On the Tampa side, Johnson, showing that once again, he is an NHL player. It's his contract. That's all it is. 6 goals, 8 assists for Tyler Johnson. And Coleman, 6 goals and 7 assists. Doesn't have the offensive instincts necessarily of Johnson, but he works really, really hard. And thus he produces points through hard work. And yeah, so that I think will probably be the most entertaining game of the night. Nashville will be in against Florida, also starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Nashville Predators now 12-16-1 coming out of that win over Tampa. They need to go on a winning streak too. Florida will be trying to stop that. They're 19-5-4. They've won 3 out of 4 against Nashville so far this year. Arvidsson, 4 goals, 10 assists. He got a goal in the last game. Is it now that he's going to start going on a hot streak himself? We'll see. And Sissons, 4 goals. He had a goal in the last game as well. I keep waiting for Sissons to start producing points. So far, hasn't happened, but fingers crossed on that. On the Florida side, Huberdeau, 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 points. Continues to be the best kept secret in hockey. Anthony Duclair, 2 goals and 10 assists when he's in the lineup. Very effective. The goals haven't been there, but the points have been, and the effort is definitely there. The goals will come sooner or later. So yeah, that should be a fun one to watch as well. Then at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, I'll be very interested to see how Dallas does against Detroit. Dallas is 9-9-7. And so they've won 9 out of 25 games. It's not optimal, the amount of wins they're getting. On the other side, Detroit. Detroit's won 9 out of 30 games. But Detroit works their asses off every night. This is a team that you will find no lack of work ethic from the Detroit Red Wings. So we'll see whether or not Dallas is ready for this, because you could understand a bit of a letdown from Dallas coming off of an emotional game against Tampa. We'll see how this starts out with Detroit. Robertson, 4 goals and 11 assists, 15 points. Robertson went on his little hot streak there. He's been prominent for Dallas. I think that any talk about, well, he should be considered for Calder, this guy, which I started hearing right away, I was like, no. Let's just enjoy a rookie performing well for Dallas. Radulov, 10 games played now with this game back. 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points. It does change the attack when he's in there. So we'll see whether or not Radulov can get a goal tonight. He did get the shootout winner in the last game, but he scored in the shootout in the last game, didn't he? Anyway, fine. I'm all right. Before I tangent off, Larkin, 6 goals and 9 assists for Detroit. He has been playing the best hockey of the season so far, over, I'll say, his last 5 games. And Adam Ernie, who suddenly showed, hey, I can score on the power play. 5 goals, 4 assists. We'll see whether or not Detroit's power play stays hot, and if Ernie plays a role in that tonight. Then at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. So we've got all these games all together. This one's a half an hour later because Detroit's different. And then an hour and a half later, we get 2 more games. Winnipeg in against Edmonton. This should be fun. Both teams having played last night. Winnipeg 18-9-2. The Oilers 19-13. These teams have both won twice against each other. So for the Jets, if they can knock off the Oilers, especially in regulation, Edmonton, there'll probably be some consternation from Oiler fans. But if the Oilers can win this one in regulation, 20-13 is a pretty sharp-looking record. Scheifele, 12 goals, 25 assists, 37 points. He's been excellent. He had his opportunities last night, didn't get on the board, but he did have chances. Connor, 16 goals, 13 assists, 29 points. Kyle Connor is on his way to megastar status, I think. It's been great. We'll see next season whether or not some of these totals that guys are putting up come down, but Connor's been great. McDavid for the Oilers, of course, 18 goals, 38 assists, 56 points. The most points anybody's had after 32 games since 95-96, as I mentioned in my news video this morning. Nurse, 9 goals, 13 assists, 22 points. One of the best goal-scoring defensemen in the league. And I think Nurse has done well. With Clefbaum out of the lineup for the Oilers, I think Clefbaum's done the best, or Nurse has done the best you can expect without Clefbaum. So, good job for him. Is he overplayed at times? Yeah, probably. But, again, Clefbaum played a lot of minutes. Also at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the battle for one of the top spots in the division. Minnesota, 18-8-1. The Colorado Avalanche, 17-8-2. Catching Vegas isn't going to happen, but these two teams battling it out. This could be a battle that goes right down to the wire. This could be a playoff preview as well. So yeah, the fact that both teams have won twice in this meeting tells you tonight should be good too. Greenway, 5 goals, 15 assists. He's off to a really, really solid first half of the season. We'll see how he does in the second half. And Kaprizov, who's always the story with Minnesota, 10 goals, 15 assists. Transforms the team when he's on the ice. We know this. Donskoy on Colorado, 7 goals, 9 assists for Donskoy. And he's been pretty hot lately on the score sheet too. Kadri, 9 goals, 15 assists. He got off to a slow start. He's really picked it up recently. So it feels like while McKinnon was out, Kadri stepped up, and that's continued since McKinnon came back. So that's a good thing. This should be a fun game. I thought about wearing a Colorado jersey this morning, and then I thought, no, I don't want to take sides. I'll wear the Boston jersey just in case that game takes place. Just a way of saying, Boston should beat Buffalo. Buffalo's lost 12 in a row, but Colorado was a close second in that. I just don't want to take sides in this, what should be a really amazing battle. So at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, the last game of the night. So this is the only one playing at that time, so it'll get my undivided attention at the end, which is Anaheim and Arizona. A battle between two teams that appear to be on the outside looking in, and probably will be on the outside looking in when the season's done. Arizona 12-13-4. They've won 3 out of 4 meetings with the Anaheim Ducks. Anaheim's 8-16-6. And I would be very surprised if Anaheim's not selling players off over the next, I'll say, week. We may see that start. Keller, 8 goals, 13 assists for Arizona. A very solid season for him. And we can have the debate at the end of the year about how Arizona fixes their cap problems and which contracts may end up being traded out. I don't think Keller's does. Kessel, 9 goals and 9 assists for him. It's been a hot and cold season for Kessel. Really has. Zegras, 10 games, only 3 assists so far. He's had opportunities for goals. I've documented it on the board whenever I've watched Ducks games. It's coming. It's going to happen sooner or later. And he's got very good offensive instincts. And Steele, 3 goals, 6 assists. I'm really sort of on the fence now with Steele. I was a huge booster of Sam Steele initially, and I'm just not sure he gets there. I'm not sure that the offense ends up being what was expected of him when he first debuted in the NHL. But we'll see. He's still young, right? A lot of players in the Ducks are still young. It's a matter of bringing them together and finding the right players to complement them with. And that's the real trick to taking your team from rebuilding and making them a playoff team again. And some teams have struggled with that. With the teardown is easy. I've always said the teardown of a team is easy. It's building it back up. That's where the real work starts. So, all right. And by saying it's easy, I mean you can just sell off pieces. I'm not saying that all the trades are really easy and everybody's going to throw you first-round draft picks. But the idea of, well, we're just going to sell guys off, you can do that. You can then drop to the bottom of the league, and then when you want to come back up, that's where it gets tough. All right, let me know your picks for any of these games for tonight, assuming, again, we're going to get Boston Buffalo. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. The growth on the channel over the last, I'll say, week has been insane. Because really, there haven't been trades. There haven't been a lot of things going on. So, thank you guys so much for helping out by comments, likes, shares, all the other wonderful things you find people do. Thanks again. I will talk to you guys soon.